Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, family. Welcome to Your Health and You, brought to you by the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Center. And today we just are blessed. I want to hope and pray everyone had a blessed Thanksgiving as we move into the next holiday, getting all the turkey and the ham and everything out of the way. We today are going to talk about something that's so timely. We're talking about nutrition and about healthy eating. And we're going to just do a holiday check in. That's what we're doing, making health part of our family conversations. As you all gather with your family and friends this holiday, we're going to ask you to be very intentional and be nosy. That's I'm gonna call it that. We're gonna ask you to be nosy. So my guest and I today we're gonna talk a little bit about questions you can ask, but also about looking at what you are eating and what you and how you look at your nutrition during this holiday season. So I'm so blessed today. You all know one of our pieces that we always do. I always have one of our health griots with us. And today I'm blessed to be with Mr. Dennis McMurray. Um, he is a prostate cancer survivor, a proud Milwaukee native. You know that. We always proud Milwaukee native. Got to ask the question, which high school? Washington High School.
Washington
Okay.
High School.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Um, and he was raised and rooted in the community, and he continues to serve. A father of four, grandfather of four. He's deeply committed to family and wellness. He works as an ambassador for the community through the Medical College Wisconsin Cancer Center, through the Health Griots program, and he blends storytelling, lived experience, and wellness to uplift others. So, Dennis, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being my co-pilot.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. And then you all, it's. I mean, Dennis is yeah. Dennis knows he's good, but I have another guest that you all know deeply. Um, and I'm so proud to say she my friend. we gonna she we gonna be getting into trouble and getting some good trouble. Family, we are blessed today with Miss Lisa McKay. Um, and you all know her through Lisa K Catering and so many other endeavors. We're going to continue talking about some of the things that she's doing to make sure that um, we're staying healthy, but also making sure that she is working with us to to continue healthy lifestyles for families. Mm-hmm. And there's two events that we're doing all together, but I want to start by us just looking at doing this check-in, and I want to start with Mr. McMurray. Um, and ask you a little bit, Dennis. What do when I say family check-in over the holidays, what does that bring to mind to you, especially as a health griot?
Real. I'm thinking about what my family's going to be eating. You know,
Okay.
um, I don't try to interrupt what they're eating, but I want to say, I do have to ask the question, what are you having today?
Okay.
Are you going to have things you shouldn't be having? Because they always call me up, what are we going to eat for Thanksgiving? My mother's 100 years old, and they always ask,
It's a
what are we going to
blessing.
feed mom? And what are we going to have for Thanksgiving? What are we going to have for Christmas? What are you going to bring over? And
Okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So I'd also ask, what are you going to bring over? So that
Hmm.
way I know ahead of time what they're going to be bringing. And so I kind of, well, my sister always says, we don't eat like you do. I said, but I'm trying to get you to eat like I do, like that. So you want to stay away from the rich foods and stuff like that. Especially, we kind of embedded as I grew up eating things like chitlins. So I always say, no chitlins. Anyway, though people love them, but
Jermaine,
anyway,
is
yeah.
that a problem? No shit.
Very much a problem.
Very much a problem.
No
Very much a
chili.
problem.
No chili.
Okay, and Debo being quiet over there, so
Yeah,
Debo might have another
That
perspective.
might be his fix. He has to have that.
We eat them. That's what it is.
I partake. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Jermaine. I partake a bit.
Mhm.
On a call just then.
Okay.
They say you got a real nice baritone voice, but they can barely hear you. I'm gonna need you to pull that mic a little
Pull that
closer
mic
to
just a
you.
little closer. We
They
got
said
you.
they could hear the fullness and the richness of it and
You know
all.
what? You
you
know,
know,
How's
but they
that
just
sound?
could barely, you know,
Is that better?
make our way. Yeah, they
Okay.
said he calling your name though. So
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
thank you, thank you. Yeah. So one of the things that I want our audience to know, the family to know, is that so as a health griot, Dennis has gone through the behavioral trial. So we talk about clinical trials when we talk about cancer treatment, but he went through a behavioral trial in the sense that you learned about after the prostate diagnosis, healthy lifestyle.
Yes,
And that is one piece that changed your lifestyle.
it sure has.
It
Yeah.
sure has. Okay. So talk a little bit about what you changed and how that's going to change what your family's going to see at the table.
Well, through the Men Moving Forward program, we learned a lot about nutrition. It's a 16-week intervention program for African American prostate cancer survivors. And the goal of the program was to help the men build lean muscle and also to reduce red meat consumption as well as processed food. So the nutrition part, it really brought
Stuck
home
with it.
to me. I wanted to know more about nutrition. I wanted to know the correlation between nutrition and a healthy body lifestyle, eating better.
Mhm.
So I really dove into that. I wanted to know more. What could this type of food do to help my body out, to help me resist different things like sicknesses or whatever, and just to build up my immune system. And I learned a lot, from that.
Okay. And so what are some of the things, so when um as you looked at what you changed in your diet, and I want to tell the audience one thing is you don't do this overnight. You didn't just cut off red meat and wake up one morning and say, I'm not doing that no more.
No, it's a process.
It's a process. It's a
I've been
process.
plant-based for about 3 years now.
Okay.
So primarily, that just means I mostly 95%, I'll say, eat just plants.
Okay.
And I believe that you eat the rainbow, that's going to really help your system. And so I'm a stickler when it comes to that. So it was a slow process. It wasn't
Mhm.
overnight. I have to learn how to eat certain, make different dishes or whatever like that
Mhm.
without using a lot of animal protein. And I started just learning, and it started becoming easier and easier. And it's all about seasoning your food. Just like you season your meat, you want to
Mhm.
season your vegetables. And hey, that's how it works for me.
That's awesome. So when talking about a little bit about your diagnosis, at what age were you diagnosed, if you don't mind?
2019,
Okay.
I think I was right around 65, 66 at that time.
Okay. And then you began with Men Moving Forward when? Do you remember?
It was actually 2020.
2020. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And so after that, so it's been a process because 2019 was the diagnosis.
Yeah.
2020 was when you entered the program and learned more about the importance of what you ate and
Yes.
the relationship of what you ate to the relationship of what you eat to uh, um, cancer prevention and healthy lifestyle. Yeah, and healthy lifestyle and survivorship afterwards. And that's one thing I want. So you all know, family, this is my question. I'll ask all my griots. How many push-ups? How many push-ups are we doing?
Let's see. I can do about 25. A set of 25.
A set of
I
25.
probably can go up to 50,
You can go up to
but
50.
I don't want to cause any problems.
Okay.
At my age, you don't want to overdo anything.
Yes.
So I'm learning to keep an even keel when
Mhm.
it comes to exercise and stretching or whatever like that.
Mhm.
I'm learning more every day about the body and stuff like that, especially at my age. I'm 72 years old. So I try to, keep myself fit as far as exercise, but I don't want to overdo it, but just enough to keep me going. But mainly, I guess my diet is the biggest thing.
It's the biggest thing.
I got more energy, I'm
Mhm.
stronger, and my cognition is better.
Yep. So okay, go ahead, Jermaine. Go ahead,
I'm
Jermaine.
with you. Wait a minute, Doc. How old are you?
I'm 72.
Listen, those of you that are not tuning in by YouTube, I looked at this guy, and this guy looked every bit of 49, 50 years old.
Mhm. Mhm.
Unbelievable, man.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
attribute that to my lifestyle.
Mhm.
It's just
Unbelievable. Wow,
Mhm.
man. Great job, man.
thank you.
you did the opposite. I was thinking more like 82, 92.
Okay, family, just so that you know.
Well, I see he's not going to be my friend.
Right.
He's not going to be my friend.
He ain't getting nothing for
I
Christmas.
shouldn't have talked about those chitlins. That's what
Yeah,
it was.
that was
right?
what. Yeah, you came for the chitlins, so he got mad.
No, but seriously, man, you look great, man. You look 72 years old. You look great, man. Great job. Man.
Thank you. Thank
gotta
Yeah,
you.
and
give you
I was
applause.
just being sarcastic as well.
All right. Thank
You
you.
do not look 72 years old.
I mean, and to be honest with you, if you put a little Beijing right there, man, I think you about 29.
Not Beijing. Not,
31.
not dying, getting rid of the grave. Really, people?
Oh, that's my distinguished
That's
stuff.
the
Okay?
distinct-
That separates me from other guys like that.
Wow, no, but seriously, great job, man.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it is all about making healthy choices. And so going to and looking at this, why is there a struggle, do you think, having these healthy conversations within the family?
Well, it's in the family, but as a whole, the community also.
Yes.
I think we're raised up eating a certain way.
Mhm.
You know, when I
Mhm.
started talking about animal products, when you're a child, and I used to tell my classes this also, I used to teach the classes also for men moving forward. When they found out I got so deep into nutrition,
Yeah.
they said, okay, we want you to teach the classes. That
Okay.
portion of the classes, it was 3 of those classes out of the 16-week
Okay.
that we talked about nutrition. So just talking about nutrition, I was like, wow, I can tell these guys this, but I also need to be able to tell my family what they should do, what they
Mhm.
should change up, and how they will feel better. You know, let me know if I'm not answering your question here.
No, you're
But-
good. You're good.
And so just through study and just through talking to them and talking to those men, whatever like that, they said the best way to learn something is to teach it. And that's what happened. I just started learning more and more about, you know, that nutrition, what it would do for your
Mhm.
body, you know, and your mind
Mhm,
like
mhm.
that. And, you know, just if I didn't answer your question, you can just
No, you
say,
are fine.
give me that key part.
It's but when you started off, it is key because we
Mhm.
as a community, we are so used to
Yeah.
if we get to I can remember my sister was in charge of I think it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, one of the holidays, and I walked in and she had made lasagna. And I was like, this don't feel right. I mean, just that drastic change of put a lasagna on the
Yeah.
table. And I was like, where's the dressing and turkey or something?
Mhm.
And she was like, I
Yeah.
made lasagna. And I was like, that is so weird. I don't what are we doing? How do we make that decision?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's making those switches
Right.
and making
yeah.
and at that it was a veggie lasagna.
Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
the whole family was in an
Yeah.
uproar. We were
I get it. And I was going to say about as
You're
a
good,
baby,
you're good.
and when people start as the children, after you get off the milk, they
Mm.
start feeding you your baby food,
Mhm.
and then they have the little meat in the baby food, and they have the ham or whatever. So starting at a young age, we're already introduced to meat products, you know, like that. And my whole thing is you have your meat, but you want to have more vegetables on your plate than the meat. And that's going to be better for your system for digestion like that.
Yep.
So
Yep. And talking about this is just it is really fascinating. It leads right into the work that Miss Lisa McKay is doing with her event. And if you can pull the mic down just a little bit so we can make sure we can hear your wonderful voice.
Mhm.
The work that you're doing that we are collaborating on, and we're going to talk a lot about this,
Okay.
but building those healthy habits
Mhm.
at childhood. First of all, Miss Lisa, tell us a little bit about your background
Oh, wow.
and why in the world I have you here. It's
no
for those who
problem.
know you, know why this. It's like, ooh, she real good. They've got a good one this time. But tell a little bit about your journey and what brings you to our conversation today.
Okay. Well, I'm a part of the American Culinary Federation Chefs of Milwaukee. And we're Chefs of Milwaukee because abbreviate the American Culinary Federation is ACF, and they are worldwide. So we're Chefs of Milwaukee. And we formed the Chef and Child Committee, which I have been director of for I think 8 or 9 years now. So and during that time, um, taking my skills as a chef, and I was a new chef because I haven't been
Mhm.
a chef for a very long time, and I have
Mhm.
not been cooking for a very, very long time, like
Yeah.
growing up.
Right.
So it's kind of weird that I end up becoming a chef. But just taking my skills and going into Milwaukee Public Schools, started out doing that,
Oh wow.
doing
Okay.
demonstrations,
Mhm.
and then I learned that students, the kids, they wanted to engage more. You would have one or two kids come up, and all the other kids are feeling
Mhm.
bad because they're not cooking with the chef. So my husband and I, we decided, let's do something for the kids. Let's do a camp, and we thought about it. And then I think within that week, two or three more people said, "You guys should do a camp." And I'm like, "See, that's our confirmation. We have to do this."
Right.
And we have been doing a summer camp, hosting. We started out with 50 kids,
Okay.
and we went up to 80 kids. That's our capacity because of the venue that we've always used. And we teach the kids different culinary skills, different ethnic foods that they engage in, knife skills, sanitation, and things like that. And we know it's hard to get the kids to eat the vegetables. So we had to figure out and come up with some different ways to have the kids eat what we really want them to eat, the good healthy things, and not all just the bad things. And it was successful. And so now we're here promoting the event that we're going to be doing on
Yes.
next Saturday,
Yes.
which is a health summit, and having our families fight against childhood obesity.
Mhm.
And we know what we want our kids to do, but we have to really instill them, and we have to do it as well in order for us to kind of like really get them to eat healthier, get them to eat their vegetables. So that's what we're here today,
I,
just
I,
for promotion and
I love it. I love it. And
share
that's
some
Sounds good.
information.
and being able to make that connection between um, healthy eating and cooking and preparing foods and teaching young. It's I can remember my
Yes.
grandson, he didn't like to eat anything green. And then we realized he didn't want it cooked. He would now he still won't eat salad, but he will tear up carrots. He will tear up broccoli, cauliflower, but he wants it raw.
Wow.
He wants it raw. And just a little bit, well, no, I take that back. It's not a little bit of dip. If I just give it to him, he's fine.
Okay.
Until he remembers that he's supposed to have some ranch on the side. And I'm like, oh Lord. So I'm like, here you go. Here's your little bit of ranch. But we were trying to figure out why won't he eat vegetable? And it was because he didn't want it cooked. He didn't want it cooked.
Wow.
So it was, and he's still somewhat like that, but he's a little bit more adventurous. He now he likes the greens. He likes
Wow.
other foods like that. So being able to slowly introduce it, but being able to understand
Right.
what is it that that our kiddos really want to eat, So that's Dennis leading what you were talking about with the family conversations. Yes, it gets difficult when we're used to habits and used to eating certain things. But yes, it grows on you, and especially you start teaching individuals about healthy eating, but then teaching our kids about how to prepare it is so critical. It's so critical. It's so important.
Yes.
And kids want to do, getting them involved with your cooking, even if it's just washing the vegetables and sprinkling the little seasonings and herbs on the chicken or the vegetables. You'll see their faces light up. They want to do it, and then it's going to actually make them want to eat it, or at least try it.
Yes.
And then we can always just find out why they don't like certain things, because I was like that growing up. I didn't like anything. I didn't like spaghetti. I didn't like anything, but I didn't like the dressing. But I found out it was certain things that my mom put in there, and I didn't find that out until I became a chef. But it's certain things. So now I have to make the dressing the way I like it. I have to make the spaghetti the way I like it. So it's kind of like having them try things, and having them try things in the raw form is good, because like you said, your child, he didn't like the broccoli cooked. So having it in the raw form is fine,
Mhm.
but he have to have the ranch now. Okay, let's go with the fat-free ranch.
Yes.
And let's teach him, show him how to make the ranch dressing. Let's make this
Oh,
together.
that's smart. Yeah.
And do a fat-free.
Yep.
So if they won't have it, but we know they have to eat.
Mhm.
So let's see what we can give them,
Mhm.
and then training their taste buds while they're young too.
That part.
So
Yes.
we don't have to give them
Yes.
meat,
No.
And I tell my daughter, she had she have a son. He's 14 years old.
Okay.
He didn't grow up drinking juice. He didn't grow up eating candy, and to this
Wow.
day, he don't eat candy.
Wow.
But I remember his grandmother, his other grandmother, not me, forcing him to eat chocolate,
Oh,
a candy bar. Now that is one thing he will eat,
he will eat
but he
that.
would
Okay.
not eat fruit snacks. He won't eat no taffy. He won't eat any kind of candy at
Oh,
14 years old.
wow.
But if you give him a chocolate bar, a Kit Kat,
Uh-huh.
or something like that, he will
He'll
love.
do
He
that.
loves it.
It's
You know,
on, it's on then.
It's
Yeah.
on. He's not a big juice drinker,
Mm.
And now this baby come along. Okay, she's getting a little tired now because this baby having juice at one. But it's
The
what
second
we
one, yeah.
train.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
don't have to have all that sweet.
Mhm.
If you're gonna make a waffle, don't go with the Eggo waffles in the store. They're already frozen,
Right.
prepared.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
a waffle. Use some instead of using regular flour, you can use all kind of different things.
Mhm.
Gluten free, and
Mhm.
because you're training their taste buds anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's so true. I will tell you, my grandson's favorite go-to seasoning is slap your mama. Is that what it is? Is slap your mama? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I was making some potatoes
Mhm.
for him, and I said, okay, you can help grandma now that I've cut them up and everything. He was like, and he goes straight to the cabinet with the seasonings,
hmm
and he looks for it, and he's like, grandma, we out to slap your mama. And I'm like, boy, get out my cabinet. No, we're not. Here you go.
Oh my
But
God.
he gets concerned, and he can season it. He knows how to season
He
it, so
know how
this
to season.
it's a little bit much for me because I'm not a spice person,
Mhm.
but or too spicy, but he's just like
Wow.
shaking it on there. It has to get a certain color. I'm like, it's not supposed to be all this. And then he knows take something and stir it up so it gets all over everything.
Mhm.
Drizzle a little olive oil, continue to stir it, and then pops it in the oven.
Wow.
And yeah, he knows there's certain seasons that he definitely, and that's my daughter.
Oh wow.
That's because I told her, and talking about habits, they very seldom eat out. She constantly, she cooks all the time. So I said he's gonna be rotten for whoever tries to marry him because he's used to home cooked meals,
Home-cooked
home cooked
meals?
meals. Yes.
I
Yeah.
taught at some social centers. There's a husband and wife team called, I think it's called Health is Wealth,
Oh yes.
by
Yeah.
Leonard. He runs that.
Mhm.
And they asked me a question, said,
Yeah.
how can you just eat the vegetables, man? How can you? I said, well, it's all about the seasoning. Back to the
Yes.
slap your mama again. It's back to
Mhm.
the seasoning.
To the seasoning.
Make
Yeah.
sure it's well seasoned. I bring
Yes.
them a dish to eat after they exercise.
Okay.
And then we're going to sit about and talk about what's in it
Yeah.
and why it's beneficial for their health.
Awesome.
And so it's very important to make sure it's seasoned well. Because I say
Mhm.
you season your meat, right? When you're on the grill, you
Mhm.
season that. Because I used to do that. Season my meat real good,
Mhm.
whatever like that.
Mhm.
So you want to season your vegetables also.
Yeah.
And you got to remember the seasoning is a vegetable.
Oh.
Right. But
Oh.
I will not slap your mama because it is good. However,
The salt content.
it's the salt content.
Yeah.
And what we do in all of our classes, we do so many different cooking classes. We always tell people, I want you to bring in your favorite seasoning. Bring in your favorite seasoning. And what I challenge them to do,
Mhm.
now you're going to make that seasoning.
Oh,
You're going to
wow.
control your own salt. The number one thing is buying the garlic salt. Things like that, to slap your mom, all the salt content.
Yeah.
So you can look on the back and see what
See
they
what's there.
have in there. And let's try to make it yourself.
Wow.
Do not put in the salt, or go online, find you a nice recipe.
Mhm.
How you do a copycat or slap your mama, they're going to tell you how much of
ingredients.
everything. And I tell
Wow.
people, do not put that much salt on it.
Yep.
Take that measurement of salt, put it in a different cup.
Yep.
And we're going to see how much salt we're going to use on that chicken or with that fish or whatever you're
Yeah,
making,
yeah.
and you're going to use all your herbs that you have in there. You're
Mhm,
going to put all over your meat,
mhm.
but not that salt.
Yeah.
So now you're going to take the salt and you're going to pinch, and you're going to sprinkle it instead of using all of
All
the
that
salt content.
yeah.
Now you're controlling your own salt.
Yep.
Because nothing tastes good
Mhm,
without the seasoning.
mhm, mhm.
Chicken and
So
nothing.
bland, yes.
It's so bland. But
Mhm.
get those herbs in there and just a little bit of salt. Oh my God.
Take it to the next
It's
level.
taken to another level.
Yes, yes. I
Little
gotta get
sprinkle of
Jordan's gonna
little
get next to you.
citrus. Oh yes.
Well, we're gonna take a really quick break. We have another wonderful guest, another one of my friends. This is what I like. I like just being here with my friends early in the morning. Early, yeah. I know it's early. But we're gonna see you on the other side. And family, I'm gonna ask you to tell me a little bit about who is one person in your family on the other side. Call in. You want to check in on this holiday weekend, who our holiday that's coming up, who is one person that you want to check in? The number 414-444-5250 or 414-444-5253, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, family. Welcome back. And I'm, you all are just actually, let's be very clear. Y'all just listening in on the family conversation here. I'm here with my friends, Dennis McMurray, a health griot with the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Center Community Outreach and Engagement Team. Everybody knows Miss Lisa McKay, known as Lisa K Catering, but she's venturing out and doing some new things and rejuvenating some others. But then we also are here with another one of my friends. I'm here all the time with. I do as I'm voluntold. Let's be very clear, and that would be Dr. Yvonne Greer. Uh, Dr. Greer, I have somebody was asking me about going to school to become a dietitian, and I was talking about you last night, so your ears had to be burning. But Dr. Greer is here because there's a couple of events going on on next weekend. Am I doing it right? Yeah, on the and next week on the 9th and the 13th. But on the 13th, we're talking about food and nutrition and Miss Lisa K, which you all know you don't want to miss this. It's going to be held. If any of you have ever been around Miss Lisa McKay, here's now an opportunity to hear some nuggets and information along with experts that she's bringing in the room that will talk about nutrition. And this is Healthy Futures Health Summit that's happening at Thrive on King on December 13th from 9 to 1. And that event is really key and really important and timely. What made you want to do? You do so much. You do so much. But what made you want to do this event in particular?
Well, I've been wanting to do this for a very long time. Our fight against childhood obesity. And when I go to the store, my husband and I, we just look at people. We look at the family's carts and see what they have in there. And I look at the size of the kids and I'm like, oh my God. It's just kind of like devastating. And I'm like, we got to get these kids to eating healthy. But we have to get to the parents, And for the last few years, we've been doing so many cooking classes with parents and with families, and chefs cooking with families for the holidays, showing them a new way of a more healthier way of getting that turkey. Let's not do that fried turkey this year. We're going to do a roasted turkey. The mac and cheese. We're going to keep that good mac and cheese into our family this Thanksgiving, but we're going to do more of a healthier. Let's use the fat-free cheeses and things like that. But just wanting our kids to grow up not the way we did. Because of course, how we ate. We had that fried chicken almost probably 2 or 3 times a week, because that's why we want it. But not trying to deprive them from everything, but give them more of a healthier start.
It makes sense.
Let's get them right now to eating healthier. So when they get into high school, middle school or high school, they looking to eat something more healthier. Cooking for themselves and helping their parents and things like that. So they can grow up as an adult, eating healthier.
Yes.
Yeah. And generationally, they can teach their children also healthier habits. It starts one to reach one. And like that. And I can also say same thing in grocery stores. And I look at people and I see them in the scooters, and they have the soda all on the outside of the scooter. And it's just loaded up with very unhealthy food. And I just wish that I could say, well, I can't say anything. They don't know me. Like that. So I know what you mean.
Right. I know. Can't say anything, but I say I just want to get some little pamphlets or either cards or something made and just keep them in my purse. So when I see some certain things, because sometimes when I see parents with their kids and stuff, I'm like, oh, and I see that I'm like, oh, you forgot about 8 years old. You need to come to my cooking class, things like that. And they end up coming, and some people can't afford it. We do it for a whole week. Some people can't afford it, but we don't turn anybody away. As long as we have space, you want your child to come, we're going to make space for them. Don't worry about the cost.
Wow.
Because we do have some great people and foundations that donate and give to us so that we can continue to do this. And I appreciate them,
So much.
being a part of the summit and helping us to keep going on and help the community.
And one thing I know a lot of people get concerned because they're like, "Oh, it's going to be too expensive. I can't do it." And Dr. Greer is one. Um, okay, I cannot remember the name of the show that you did.
The Back to the Kitchen.
Back to the Kitchen. Thank you. I was to the kitchen part. I couldn't remember the back part. But the Back to the Kitchen part, I will tell you, I loved it because Dr. Greer, you explained how to shop at Aldi's, how to get the thing. And I remember one of the things that you said that reminded me was about picking up the nuts.
Right.
The nuts. And where do you say pick the nuts up from? It's
From the bacon section of the store, not at the front.
yes.
The prices is totally different. You can get
Mhm.
almonds, you can get, pecans, you can get walnuts,
Mhm.
sometimes anywhere from $2 to $3.50, something like that. In the front of the store, you're talking about $6, $7, $8, $9.
Mhm.
Totally different. And when they say you should be eating nuts almost every single day,
Yeah.
it's like, how are you going to do that when they're so expensive?
Yes. Yeah.
But when you get these big bags and you can make your own trail mix,
Mhm.
and then you have that to eat off of on a regular basis. Plus, the trail mix only takes a little bit. I mean,
Mhm.
and you have still the whole fixing for even more left
Yes.
over. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it can be very affordable, like you said. But in order to learn how to stretch those food dollars, how to get the best buys,
Mhm.
sometimes it takes a little bit of talking to
Practice.
people
Yeah.
and sharing information with people,
Definitely.
which is what I'm usually called the practical dietitian.
Yeah, there
That I
you go.
give practical advice, advice
Mhm.
that people can use, versus give advice and like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Exactly.
how people really live. So that's why my tagline is, why I eat right, nutritional consultant for healthy living,
Yes.
because the practices that I want you to do is for longevity, to extend your
Yes.
life.
Yes. Exactly. And family, we have a caller on the line. Caller, welcome, welcome. How can we help you? And what comments do you have today? We want to hear from you.
Good morning. Good morning to the.
Good morning,
I
sir.
hear an echo in my phone, but I'm going
I
to
can hear you.
proceed anyway.
Yes, you're good.
Um, what What do you know about the toxification of green leafy vegetables, fruits, making them genetically modified organisms, making it so that the American public has a hard time getting access to real fruits and vegetables?
Well, I can say something about that, and that has been something that people are very, very worried about. There's been more information coming out, even from the government, about pesticides, about different things. Usually, what I recommend is people buying more local as much as possible, and that way you can get foods closer to directly from the farmers.
Mhm.
And one of the things that in Wisconsin, particularly, we have a lot of people who use organic farming practices, so they don't use as much. But the big agribusinesses who have to ship food from further distances have more preservatives and that type of thing. But even with that, if you really wash your fruits and vegetables really good, um, like I said, a lot of times when we start looking at foods, there are restrictions on what can be put in edible food for people versus for animals.
Right.
So some of the genetic foods is more used in animal based.
Mhm.
So that's why, I always say you have to judge your risk versus safety. You have to know how far will you go, because you can go and buy directly from a farmer who
Right.
doesn't use those practices, but then it's
Mhm.
going to be more expensive.
Right.
You're going to have to put the more effort in. So you have to really get to a point where you understand where your food is coming from. They do label where food is coming from. And that way you can kind of get a feel for what foods are fresh. You can get a feel for how fast the food is rotated. Even in some of the places that say that they're selling all organic food, it doesn't mean that that food can't have some type of contamination. You still have to clean it. You still have to know that it's being
Yes.
rotated. I had a conversation on someone, how fresh is fresh? We say
Mm.
get fresh fruits and vegetables, but how long have they been picked from the
Mhm.
time they come from the garden or from the farmer to
Mhm.
your table. And that's
Mhm.
where people are getting into gardening and growing their own fresh fruits and vegetables or buying from farmers markets. They even have a winter's farmers market
Yes.
so that there's ways that you can get food that you know is more locally grown
Mhm.
in the area. And that would be my take. However, and I said this to another group recently, all the research says that the people who are eating the highest amount of fruits and vegetables are the one that's living the longest,
Mhm.
that's having the
I
longevities, that's having lower cancer. All
Mhm.
of, so I would say, get a certain comfort level on where you purchase your food, how you buy your food, but then you should not feel like fruits and vegetables don't have any nutrients in them anymore, because I've been hearing that. And they still do have
Mhm.
nutrients in them. It's just that you do want to safeguard your health.
Awesome.
I didn't know
Yeah.
if you had
Colin,
anything.
thank you so much for that question. That is one I know people often ask about that. And in Milwaukee, we are so blessed to have many farmers markets. And the Fondy one is one that often comes to mind. There's often markets that happen during the summer, but Fondy is some of the gardens are switching so that you can get it during the winter months. And I know what my mama used to do. I have one flashback, and my sister and I still we talk about this because she tricked us. And she told us to invite all our friends over to the house, and she was going to barbecue, and we were going to have fun, and we could just play outside and da 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 da. And she backed up that station wagon after my friends arrived, and she had gone to the farmers market and had 12 dozen ears of corn, 12 dozen ears of corn. So we had to shuck and silk all that corn outside. And I don't know if anybody's ever shucked and silk corn in the summer outside. It draws bees.
Yeah.
So, and she used to can and freeze everything. I didn't eat vegetables that came out of a can until I tried it at college. And I was like, this is horrible. And I'm going back to my mama's basement where she has a wall full of canned vegetables and soups, and then the freezer. We have two freezers. And so that's something I think we too need to get back to, is learning how to preserve the food.
Yeah.
That's a big piece.
And that's part of getting back in the kitchen, reclaiming our connection with our food.
Mhm.
Because at one time that's all you had was food that is fresh from the garden, fresh from the farmers.
Mhm.
And then you had to prepare them. We had a farm outside of Milwaukee in Oak Creek before the highways and everything came through. And from little all the way until high school, I had to go harvest.
Mhm.
I had to, plant and weed and all the rest of this stuff. But harvest time, you would get, I thought you was going to say that she brought in big bushel baskets of green beans to snap.
Oh no, it was worse. I've done that too.
I
But
had
yes,
to sit, I
the
had to
corn was
sit with a
worse.
big old bushel basket of green beans, snapping them while you're
Snapping
watching the
peas.
TVs,
Mhm.
that type of thing. But when it comes to sometimes even saying you should go to the farmer's market,
Mhm.
there was an individual that I was working with, and she said she gave her farmer's market check to her mother because she didn't know nothing about no fresh vegetables.
Oh.
So a part of what we want to do is get people to reclaim their knowledge of
Yes.
how to cook fresh vegetables. What do they
Yes.
look like?
Yes.
How do you grow them? How do you pick them?
Mhm.
So all of that's like a spectrum. How
Mhm.
you cook them. All of that is a spectrum to how does it nourish your body? How do you get the best out of the food that is supposed to nourish your body versus some foods that is there to kind of feed your taste buds.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and what we call have empty nutrition.
Empty nutrition.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And family,
Hey.
we have another caller on the line, and I'll come back. Caller, welcome to Good Morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Long time, but good morning. Love you, I love you. Good morning, ladies. Tyrone W. speaking. Good morning, Milwaukee.
Hey,
Merry
Mr.
Christmas to
Tyrone.
everybody. Good morning, Merry Christmas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Good morning.
Where have you been? Look
I
at Mr.
work
Tyrone.
being done on the house, work being done on
Oh,
this
there you
old
go.
body of mine.
There
Oh
you
man,
go. There you go.
it's never ending. I before it snowed there, because my neighbor next door got so many dandelions and stuff over there. I'm looking at the dandelions I got to pull up already
Oh
come next
no.
spring.
Oh no. Oh no.
But it's always work being done around here. But yeah, I'm holding steady. I missed you, and Glad to be in the presence of you today,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Rideout. Good morning. Merry Christmas
Good.
to all.
Thank you,
Uh,
Mr. Tyrone.
you know what? And good morning, Rick, over in Germany. Always good hearing from him, man.
Yes,
Rick,
yes.
yeah.
Rick
Good
always
morning,
calls in
Rick,
with
over
good
in Germany.
stuff.
Good morning to you
Yes.
and your family, brother Rick. Love you. Always good hearing from you. Um, the vegetables, I appreciate what you're talking about. I love that very much because I eat a lot of those, especially on my pizza. I get the black olives, the green olives, the bell peppers, the
Mm,
mushroom, and plenty of onions.
mm.
Plenty of onions. I love my onions. But I've been peeling potatoes. Oh man, I don't know if we got to get in the ears of the farmers or what here, but it's the fertilizer or something that they're using. But I've been peeling potatoes and cutting them in half, and I've been seeing a lot of black stuff even in the center of the potatoes. Not only black spots and blotches on the, but the whole potato is infiltrated with this black stuff.
Mm,
I'm concerned about what kind of fertilizer and stuff they're using that's making our potatoes black.
mm.
So, but I don't know if I'm the only one, but I get around a few different stores. Save a Lot, Pick and Save, Woodman's. Some of the potatoes, not all, but a lot of the potatoes are coming up with some black stuff in them.
Oh,
I'm concerned.
thank you.
So, but I will listen over the air. Good hearing from you. We'll talk
You
soon.
too.
Best wishes for the new year. Merry
Yes, you
Christmas and
too.
have a lot of fun and be safe out there.
You too.
Love
You
you.
too.
Thank you.
Can you all, do
You-
either of you, the black spots in potatoes?
No, I can't say that I know because definitely I'm not a farming expert.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
But I would say that you should be paying attention to brands that you're picking. There's a lot of things that's happened. I always say things that's happened since COVID. They don't have as much food inspectors, and they're cutting corners and stuff like that. And so I would really make sure that I know what are those brands that seem like they have the quality
Mhm.
food, so that I can make sure I get that. And again, also the buy local again,
Mhm.
because a lot of times those are shipped from long distances, might have been picked long time, and they might have got to the ends and just packaged up everything. And so
Mm.
yeah, I mean, again, I'm not one for name brands, because name brands don't always mean quality.
Yes.
Although
Yeah.
but you should take a peek at that. Like for instance, russet potatoes that's usually grown in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They may be. Some people say, "Oh, those are the cheap potatoes," but they actually are very good.
They're very
potatoes.
good, yeah.
So kind of make sure that you start taking note when you see those things, so that you don't you start knowing what are those quality foods that you can go back to.
And I of course Googled it to find out what this was.
Okay, what
right
is
away.
it?
It's funny. I had to chuckle a little bit. So it's caused by internal bruising or chilling injury, which they say it's harmless once you cut it away. But even the picture they show, I'm like, if you cut this away, you won't have nothing left.
Right.
So
Right.
that's an issue. But it's a natural reaction where damaged cells produce melanin.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
We're gonna look into this a little bit
Wow.
deeper. I want to know more about
We
that.
need
So
It's like us,
farming
melanin.
expert.
yes,
Right.
yes.
Right.
Well, family, our time with COVID so fast. We're gonna take another break, and we're gonna come back and talk a little bit more about the event that's coming up, a little bit more about healthy eating and cancer prevention, and also just talk about what we should be talking about around the table. So we'll see you on the other side and come back. Thank you. Welcome back, family. And for those listening, I have an assignment for you. Yes, pull out your phones, get your phone out. Um, I want you to text somebody that you know, close to you, and say, text them, I love you. Let's take care of ourselves this holiday. So I need to know that you all did it. But I just need you to text that. We text a whole bunch of other stuff. But I need you to do this. Text, I love you. I need you to take care. Need you to help us take care of ourselves this holiday. So I'm here with my guests. Of course, I have a health griot. Mr. Dennis McMurray is with me. But we extended our family, invited some more families in. Miss Lisa McKay from Lisa K Catering. But now we got to figure out a different word because you do more than catering.
I know.
You do so much more. We gonna work on it. I got you. We're gonna work on it. And she is working with Dr. Yvonne Greer. Dr. Greer I did not properly introduce you. I just assume everybody knows you around here. But Dr. Greer is with Why Eat Right
Nutritional consultant.
nutritional consultant. Yes, and health for healthy living. And I love having Dr. Greer talk about healthy eating because she gives us practical ways to make this transition and to increase our intake of healthy foods. And of course, I have to mention my favorite because I think I'm going to make it this weekend. You know what it is? Your fruit pizza.
That's what I was about to say.
She makes a fruit pizza. Yum yum yum. I've watched it when you were on Back to the Kitchen. When you made it on Back to the Kitchen, I was like, I think I could actually do that. And sure enough, I tried
And
it.
one thing I don't ever usually mention is the reason why I substituted low-fat blenderized cottage cheese as the base
Mhm.
is because I'm lactose intolerant. And so when you start
wow.
using cream cheese and some of those cream blends,
Mhm.
I can't hardly eat those. But because the cottage cheese is mostly the protein, so you're getting much more protein, very little lactose.
Okay.
Now you have a substance that can be used and you can eat and don't have to worry about people getting stomach cramps just from having it.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're getting a healthier version for digestion, for calcium, for protein, while having something that's nutritious. My
Yes.
tagline: nutritious and delicious.
And Dr. Greer, it's so one of the and Back to the Kitchen, you can still watch it on.
It's still on YouTube.
It's still on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
So just Google Back to the Kitchen, and you will see. You get to hear Dr. Greer talk a
You may
little.
have to put days of learning back to the kitchen.
Okay, Days of Learning Back to the Kitchen is what you have to look for. But she not only demonstrates healthy cooking, but she also talks about the recipes that she's doing while she's doing. It's fun because it's like you sitting at her kitchen table and she's just over there just piddling and doing what she do, and you're gonna get a bite afterwards. But yeah, that was my first introduction, and I did not realize that you were lactose intolerant. I didn't, and I just did the cottage cheese and was like, okay, this is really good. And my family doesn't realize it's not cream cheese, but I often trick them. They don't need to know.
Everybody loves it. And one program that I did, and I said, do you like cottage cheese and fruit? And people say, oh, cottage cheese.
Oh.
I said, well, I have a way that you can make it and you will love it. And one lady said there was never a way. And at the end of the class, she said, Dr. Greer, look. She was kind of licking the container with the sauce in it. She said, this is delicious. She said, no one would have ever told me that I would like this. But that's the beauty of having, going to cooking classes, learning about food and, how to put things together. Because I always say we're great cooks and ingenious, but we've learned how to make foods from old ways. And so now it's like, if you know better, you do better. And then you can transfer that on into the new generation. So now you're building a culture of health versus passing along high risk for heart disease, high risk for blood pressure, high risk for diabetes. And unknowingly, we didn't know.
No,
we were just trying to survive with what we were given. But now we know better.
Yes.
But our basic food, our basic soul food, is made with beautiful fruits and vegetables, high in nutrients. We just add that extra saturated fat, extra things that's not healthy, and that's what makes it unhealthy. But the regular sweet potato, there's nothing better for beta carotene. Greens, not only is it good for iron and fiber and things like that, but it's actually almost like drinking a cup of milk. It is very high, very absorbable calcium in those greens.
Wow.
So when you say I'm lactose and I don't drink milk, but you eat greens, you're still getting your calcium in.
Right.
But you need to make sure you're cooking them healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy and delicious.
Delicious, right? That's important. Stuff like that. I do have a phrase that I like to use. I said, the food that you love should love you back.
That's right.
And I say that's
Say it
very
again.
important.
Say
the
that
food
again.
that you love
Yeah.
should love you back.
Wow.
So, you wake up in the morning, the thoughts come in your head. I said, that sounds good. Let me get them, write it down.
Before it leaves.
Before it leaves. I'm like, I knew I should have wrote that down. But yeah, it's really important. And then you don't want to overcook your food, especially if you're doing greens or whatever, because you don't want to cook away the nutrition, the value of it. Although when you used to do greens, they said, well, you may be able to get some of that back if you drink the pot liquor. As our mothers used to say, pot liquor. You're going to get some of those nutrients back from that pot liquor that's in the juice.
But you can also do is save that juice, freeze it, put in some container or baggie, freeze it, and use it for soup.
There you go.
It makes the best soup. My mother called it potluck soup. Save all the little leftover from juices and vegetables that you don't want to eat. Got tired of eating them, put them in a bag, put them in the, and when you get ready, dump them all in there together. Make a potluck soup. See if you need to add a little protein in there, and then you got or beans, and you have a wonderful dish. And I tried, and it's like it didn't make a difference what kind of vegetables was left over. Once you had enough, throw them all in there, cook, and that you already have it almost seasoned.
Okay, so now my mind has gone. I'm just like, if I do that with greens, because the leftover stuff, we very seldom have leftovers. I got too many kids, but when we do, if I froze it and then in the slow cooker with some black-eyed peas, stop all the madness.
And this is good for stretching your food dollar, because some people who they say it's only me, so I don't really want to cook anymore, and because they learn how to cook big pots. And I said, well, you can always plan to freeze. You don't have to eat it all just because you made it. You can freeze it, and then you can have something to take out, and have ready-made meal of food that you already cooked.
Definitely.
Not something someone else cooked.
Definitely. I want to talk about this event on December 13th, and I want to make sure I'm hearing it correctly. December 13th is the event at Thrive On, Healthy Futures Health Summit on December 13th from 9 until 1. It's free 99. It's completely free. Completely free. We just need you to come out, community, and tell a friend. So part of the goal is about empowering kids and families around childhood obesity. So can children also come to this, or is this mainly targeting the adults?
We would love for the children and adults come.
Yay!
Families.
Bring the
it's
kids.
A family event.
Yes.
It's a gift for the families.
Thank you.
For the community. It's free. It's fun. It's going to be filled with tools that the families can take home and use immediately. And we want them to come out.
And the cooking demonstrations that you're doing, it'll be a good opportunity for you to kind of test to see, okay, is my child really going to eat this? And you can say, taste it with me and just try this with me, which is so important. But then also watching someone prepare the foods so you can see that it is not impossible.
Exactly. Very family friendly, really great ideas and simple, nothing extravagant where like, oh God, I'm not going to be able to do that. You will see it. You will like, oh yeah, I can do that. They only using this, and this, and putting it together, stir frying it.
No special pots. No special
pots. No special pots. And we do have a special pot for certain things.
Okay.
But if our guests register, they will get that pot.
Okay.
So we have some wonderful prizes, wonderful gifts for our guests, and
There you
because we
go.
want you to go away feeling confident, knowing that you can do this.
Yes, yes. So it's to register. If you have any questions or you want to register, please feel free to call me. The number 414-955-2364, and we'll get you registered for that event. Definitely. Why is it so important for us to pay attention to this now?
Well, while our kids are young, I mean, people are dying every day, and mainly it's because of what we put in our mouths. We getting cancer, diabetes, not just inherited because our parents have. It's what we're putting in our mouths, and we need to change sooner or later. We need to change. Some people may change at 60, 70 years old, but they made the change and they live in a little while longer. But while we're young, while the kids are younger, let's grab them and let's get them started, and hopefully they will continue it on, and like I said, share it with their families
and create those healthy habits.
Yeah, I want to add that
Please.
the time to safeguard your health is when you have it. And so
come back. Say that again. Say that again.
Sounds good there.
I know these nuggets of information.
I said the time to safeguard your health is when you have it. And so many people say, well, I'm healthy. I don't have any problems. I don't have to watch stuff. But no, the time for you to really understand how to keep your health is when you have it. And many times we don't even think that we're setting an example for our children, that the children are watching us. There's a philosophy that you can go into, and a lot of health professionals now use the life course theory, which means that your health and your longevity is based on how you eat from the time even before you were born, how you was nourished, and that continues on. So how you're eating as a child makes a difference on your risk of heart disease, whether you're going to have kidney disease, whether you're going to have these. So when you see people who live long and healthy lives, if you really talk to them, you might think they eat everything under the sun. And then you'll go and they'll say, I eat more fruits and vegetables, or I've really concentrated on, making sure I, walk, or so you'll hear the healthy things they're doing, but they don't broadcast it. It's part of their lifestyle. So that's where, when you're bringing people together, I usually say it that because some people, they say preventing obesity. Well, I'm not overweight. I usually say promoting healthy weights throughout the life cycle. Promoting healthy weight. And it's saying, looking at the future, making sure that you're eating and you have an environment and you have habits that's going to safeguard your health. And children who are overweight can grow into a healthy weight. Some people say, oh, they was a heavy child, but look at them now. They're tall. They just grew out of that weight.
They just need the time.
So they really say that overweight children are at risk for obesity, even if you see them have a little weight on them, because they're saying that is not how they are growing, they're developing, they're going to change. So developing healthy habits, understanding what that is, coming together, and again, teachable moments. The person that the child learns the most from many times is their parent, from their environment, from their home. And some people say it's in school. No, they gravitate to what was cooked in the home, what they experienced as a child. And even as teenagers, I always say teenagers can go off and rebel and do anything. I told my kids, don't eat Captain Crunch. First thing they want is Captain Crunch. I shouldn't say the name brand. Don't eat highly sweetened cereals. Captain Crunch just being an example. But like I said, it's a choice. I say that as a candy cereal. If you like your nice little,
that's a special treat. Special treat.
A lot of sugar.
So when my daughter got grown and she said, "Oh my God, there's no fiber."
Oh,
she got used to. So you can have a certain feel in your mouth when you're crunching on fiber, or eat something with some fiber in it. And she says, "I can't believe people put milk on this." So at any rate, like I said, what's taught in the home is usually what's going to follow. So the younger you can expose them to healthy eating,
Mhm.
and if they see the parent eating, it
Yes.
sets an example that this is important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this idea of you eat in one room and the kids eat in another. Oh, you pull up a chair.
Yep.
Yeah.
You eat together. They see you eating. It
Yeah.
becomes important to eat healthy food
Yes. Yeah.
versus just something you tell them to do.
Awesome. We have a caller on the line. Caller, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yes, I'm here. Forgive me for the double scooping and double dipping.
No,
but
come on through.
sounds like so much fun in there. 2026. I'm gonna have to try and see if I can scoot a little closer to the table with my personal check. Got to get Riot out to come pick me up and bring me down there.
Come on through.
But Tyrone W. speaking again.
Yes, sir.
Enjoying everyone, and before everyone goes their separate ways this morning, a couple different things. Going to help you laugh a little bit toward the end here, but freezer burn. We really should. I don't know what the time limit is before things really start to petrify. I know years ago there was a chicken. Oh man, my mom had that chicken in there. Man, it was almost like petrified wood. It was just so bad. But I would guess you rotate your freezer stuff. I don't know what the time frame is. Just like your cans and your cans, your expiration dates on your cans and your boxes. Rotate your stock in your freezer too. I can't give you a time limit, but yeah, freezer burn, man. I mean, yeah, that chicken was it was toast, man. That was wood. But
I will let you know, freezer burn is not. You can still eat stuff with freezer burn, but the flavor and texture is going to be different. But it's not unhealthy for you to eat it.
Yeah, but yeah, not that chicken there though. that chicken was gone. But yeah, I love what I'm hearing. I know the gentleman said something about don't overcook your stuff there. I'm gonna make you laugh with this one. I'm gonna go. But yeah, the greens and the vegetables. I love me some sweet potatoes, yams. That's a wonderful nickname for them, yams. I love me some yams with almost anything. But I don't eat them. I don't eat the chitlins. But I know for people that are cooking, you can't cook all the flavor out of chitlins. But make sure you cook them well enough. Merry Christmas. Laugh all the way home with that one. Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Tyrone. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's one of the things is understanding how to prepare and preserve foods. I mean, you talked about the now I'm gonna go make some greens, so I have some leftovers, so I can make my black eyed peas in my in my crock pot with that juice with what's left over. But I can remember my mom also rotating the foods, but even when we froze those dozen ears of corn that my 144, it was ridiculous. But all the corn that we did, we rotated it. And my mom also gave food out. So she would often but my friends could care less if she gave them a bag of corn, sweet corn. Their parents were happy. But you do have to be careful how long you keep.
Yeah, they usually say you should label your food as far as dating them so you can know.
Yeah.
And there is sheets that you can go to, whether you go to the health department, food safety, or FDA. They have sheets on food safety and timelines on when you can keep certain foods. Some of them that's just plain meats and things, sometimes they can be kept up to a whole year versus some mixed food might only be able to be kept for 6 months. And so you should be able to go online, Google everything, and you can find those timeline sheets so that you know how long to keep things in the freezer, like you said, and rotate them. Some people put stuff in the freezer and never go back in the freezer ever again.
Yeah.
But that's not what you should do. You should be rotating. You should be using up those foods in the freezer. But use your freezer. I say, use your freezer. Know how to thaw things correctly. Those are all part of being in the kitchen. Standing in the kitchen. And so when you were saying I was on the back to the kitchen doing my recipes, teaching at the same time, that's my comfort. That's kind of like my joy, because when I was growing up, I had a lot of great cooks. I didn't have to cook. My sisters, my brother, I had 2 sisters, a brother older than me, and my mom was a great cook.
Yeah.
And I got older and I wanted them to cook for me. They say, cook for yourself. You got to learn how to cook. So sometimes you think the skills are automatically there. And I found youth and people who do not know how to hold a knife They don't know how to peel an apple because they've never had to do it.
Yeah.
A lot of times
Yeah.
things come in bags now.
Yes.
And all
Yeah.
you have to do is open the bag, vegetables, just
Oh, please
steam
don't.
your
Yeah.
vegetables. You don't have to cut up anything.
Mhm.
So that those skills of seeing a fresh green, red pepper and how to cook it, how to do what, that it even has seeds in the middle.
Mhm.
They haven't seen it.
Mhm.
So those are the types of skills when you get back to the kitchen,
Mhm.
you can teach. And my mom was describing how she taught one of my nieces how to crack an egg and where to put your thumb. And
Oh,
I'm thinking,
gosh.
I don't even think about it. You know, you just do it. And then when I cracked the egg the last time, I think I do that. I crack it and put my thumb in. So those are skills. And if you're not in the kitchen, kids don't learn them. So then when they get adults, then they're used to just buying convenience food, buying a bag of this, buying,
Yes.
already breaded chicken, not knowing how to cut up a chicken.
Ooh, that's a skill. That's a skill. I will tell you, my dad, I did not know how to make sunny side up eggs. It was a struggle. And so my father one Saturday morning comes in with a dozen eggs he had just bought, and heat up and put the cast iron on the stove. He's like, "You're gonna learn to make sunny side up eggs," and I was like, "What, Daddy? You're the only one who eats them." He's like, "But you might marry somebody one day who likes them." Sure enough, there's my.
You.
But I went through. I think I went through half a dozen before I figured it out, and then as I got older, I realized I could cover. I didn't have to. I could cover it, and it would cook just enough the way my father liked. Because my dad, after my mom passed away, my dad lived with me, and I made him. And he would laugh all the time. He's like, "Yeah, them 6 eggs was a good investment." I was like, "You need to quit." But learning and having someone who's going to stand there and teach you is so important. The other piece of what we are doing is it's prevention, and we are not talking about changing your lifestyle, and we never say the D word. We don't say diet. I'm not going to go on a diet. I am making a lifestyle change for my health, and that is what we are talking about. It's not something that you're going to do momentarily. It's something that's done as a lifestyle change. And when we talk about cancer prevention, what you put in your body, as you were talking about, Miss Lisa, what you put in your body often impacts how healthy your body is and some of the things that you can prevent. So I know with cancer prevention, we talk about eating things with antioxidants like the purples. I can only relate it to colors, and then I go to what the food is. But like eggplant, that was one I was like, there's no way I can eat it. I'm a texture person. My niece, who is a vegetarian, made eggplant parmesan for my husband and I. And she brought it over and she's like, I want you all to try this. My husband wants that all the time. He loves eggplant parmesan. And that I never thought you could get it firm enough. I was like, it's gonna be mushy on the inside because I had it before when it was overcooked. Overcooked. But eating things like that is a way that you can start taking control and doing that prevention. It doesn't necessarily, the screenings are important. Getting your mammogram and getting your PSA and all of that is important, but you can also take control of how healthy you are and prevent things by what you put in your body. And that's, I think, part of what you all teach, and what's going to happen on the 13th is very important because that's going to teach a family lifestyle change, to introduce new things that are going to be good and healthy, new ways to prepare foods so that it can be healthy. But I think that that's one piece. When people say, well, I can't prevent, it's like, yes, you can.
Yes,
You can. Okay, instead of buying green grapes, can you buy the red grapes? Can you buy, the black grapes? Can you buy a different type? Instead of grabbing a bag of chips, can you instead grab an apple? Because what you're really desiring is that crunch. And if you're desiring that salt, take a pinch and put it on that apple. But I always say put do some lemon juice on top of the apple. It's so refreshing. But what you're desiring is that crunch. And so I think what's so important about what you all are doing is it's that prevention and starting that prevention early.
So one thing I
Please.
want to say is
Mhm.
that many times people concentrate on what not to do. Don't do this. Don't do that. Um, but with prevention, we're focusing on what should you be getting in? What should you be eating?
Mhm.
You know, how can you take like a control and get these things in versus the things that you should not have. So when you were talking about chips, I don't concentrate on the chips as much as I concentrate on what are you getting in.
Mhm.
Because even if you had chips with a salsa or chips with something, a bean dish or something that's healthy, you're getting in the nutrients from the beans.
Right.
So you're going to get it filled with the nutritious food and you're going to have less of the non-nutritious items. And so that's where like, okay, what combinations are you putting together that's going to maintain your health?
Mhm.
So if I told my son, because you know they grew up with a dietitian mother, have you fed your body today? He will know. Yeah, ma, I had some calcium from this. I had some this and that and the other. I got some vitamin C. I got some potassium. He knows where his body is getting fed. Many times we have no knowledge because we haven't been exposed because they don't teach it that way.
Yeah.
And because they don't, a lot of times we don't know that some foods are better to get in than others. That's the kind of teaching that we're going to be trying to do. One of the things that we also want is the idea of family togetherness.
Yes.
And that whole bit of social connections and social ties and how important that is. I mentioned it before that our parents is our number one role model, parents, grandparents. And I will tell you one conversation I had with my grandson just yesterday that I picked him up from his basketball practice and he started talking about golden delicious apples. And what, you know, what's the difference between the golden delicious and gala? When everybody likes gala and golden, and, you know, so we start talking about different types of apples. And he said, I don't like the ones that's soft, like the ones you cook with. I said, yeah, but they cook good. And so we just, on the way home, I never would have thought we had that much conversation on just apples. But he's used to teachable moments and being able to question me and talk to me. And some parents and people don't let their kids talk to them, and especially not about food or you know health and those type of things. And so that's part of what we want people to do is come together, families coming together, getting empowered. And I usually say to promote healthy weights, and that is once you have healthy weight, you're fighting childhood obesity, which is unhealthy weight.
Definitely.
You know, and so sometimes people hear obesity and they're not quite like, they're just thinking about the biggest person they can think of, but it's really talking about internal fat that would cause a problems with your organs. And so you can even have weight and not have as much internal fat because you have more muscle.
Exactly.
So these are the type of things and conversation that we would get into at the program when I'm there doing my little talk on how to promote healthy weights in children.
Awesome.
And then I do want to make sure we talk about the family gatherings since it's going to be Christmas.
Definitely. Well, let's pick that up on the other side. We're going to take a quick break and then come back and talk about these family gatherings and the importance of having these conversations up front. We'll see you on the other side, family. Welcome back, family. Welcome back. And again, we want to hear from you. 414-444-5250 and 414-444-5253. You're at, we are talking about your health and you. And specifically, we have two events coming up. One on December 13th from 9 to 1 at Thrive on King. And that event is the health, I always forget the name. I'm sorry, forgive me. Healthy Futures Health Summit. And one other piece that we have another event that's coming up on December 9th. And this is a listening lounge where we're going to listen to the voices of Black women. And that is also going to be held at Thrive on King from 5, if I have it right, from 5 until 7. If you're interested in either one of these events, please give me a call, 414-955-2364. It's also, both events are also advertised on Facebook, so you can look up the events that way. For the event that is on the 13th, can you give us, Miss Lisa, can you give us just a hint of like a cooking demonstration that we might see? Or?
Oh yes, we do have one of my chefs that I have been mentoring for several years, but she's going to be doing. She's half Asian and half Black.
Oh, wow.
And she is going to be doing a wonderful food demonstration using a lot of fresh vegetables, as fresh as you can get them.
That's okay.
And it's so easy. This dish is just so easy to prepare. It's one of the things that I always introduce to the kids that are with in our camps and stuff like that. But it's an Asian dish.
Okay.
And so we're going to be using some rice.
Okay.
And we have gifts. Like I said,
come on,
our
people.
guests that are going to register will receive these special items. So we really truly want them to register.
We want you to register. Yes.
You don't need this item to prepare the dish, but it'll make it much easier for you.
Yes.
And it's fun. It'll be fun, and Malaysia makes it really fun. She's very professional. I'm not demonstrating anything. I'm using all of my chefs because
awesome.
I was recently diagnosed with cancer. And I'm just now getting where I'm getting out, doing some things. And this is one of the things that I'm like, okay, I only have so much energy per day and or per week. And this is one of the things that I wanted to host and put the energy that I have left into. And like I said, it's going to be wonderful. We have a person juicing. And I was reminded of a lady that was telling me that her husband will not eat vegetables. If he eat vegetables, it's carrots, and they have to be sweet. But he call them dessert carrots. So what she does, she puree a lot of the vegetables, and she uses it as a sauce. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful.
Smart.
Over the meats and over certain things. I'm like, oh, that's wonderful. So we'll be learning how to do juicing. Meal prep.
Yes.
Which is going to be wonderful, and we will be giving out meal prep kits. Make it easier for you, because we want our families to embrace and do this. And they're going to see how easy it is.
And this is one thing that, you come out, and we know Wisconsin weather, but y'all been here for a while. Y'all know how to bundle up and bundle up them babies for this cold. But come in for something warm, which I always think whenever we gather to talk about good cooking and good food. And I think one of the things that I really want people to see is that the chefs that are working with you are chefs that you've mentored.
Yes.
And the relationship and understanding is so important of how Miss Lisa is leaving her legacy by supporting other people. Yes. And I want to just touch really briefly. You mentioned that you were recently diagnosed and you are still going through treatment. That's why the energy level is a little bit challenging. But I want our family to know and see that when even through a diagnosis, you still Lisa K.
I'm still Lisa K.
You still Lisa K. Ain't nothing gonna stop that.
Exactly.
Ain't nothing gonna stop
Mhm.
that. And Dennis, you said, how old did you say you are now?
72 years old.
72 years young.
I'm
Oh, that's
61, and he looks younger than I am.
No, not at all.
He
Look,
looks great.
Mm-mm.
it's
Something. Where's the wrinkles? I mean,
I know,
it's not
that's
a
the thing,
wrinkle
not a wrinkle
at all.
at all.
Yeah, you 25.
Yeah.
You're 25.
Jermaine is challenging.
I don't know.
I
Something.
promise you. It's something.
Jermaine's
I'm gonna follow
I
him.
don't know. I'll be counting wrinkles in the morning, looking in the mirror like, okay, what's the new one coming up? But they just pop up overnight. Wake up there. There's a new wrinkle or whatever. Like
Yeah,
that.
but
Where
you're
did
gonna
that
be
come
over
from?
100 years old. You
Thank
gotta
you.
get one sooner or later.
Sooner or
Yeah,
later.
so
Sooner or
I
later.
think they're here now. Y'all don't know what y'all looking at, but anyway, I'm maybe hard on myself or whatever. You know,
Yes,
like that.
but it's about, even this is one of the things that we through the health griots that we want people to see, to not fear getting screened and not fear that diagnosis. It cancer can come, but we can also kick cancer's butt.
Right.
And there is the survivorship on the other side. Miss Lisa going through treatment right now, but you can see, I can tell you, I went to her restaurant. My sorority sisters and I went to a restaurant, and it was like we were sitting in her living room and just talking and laughing and talking to the folks that were coming in and out, and the chefs were coming out and talking to it. It was just, and the staff, they were just wonderful. But it was being at home, and it's because of the food that's at the table. And it's because it's the preparation and the love that's put in it that never changes, never changes. And so as you mentor other people, know that you are passing that love on.
Exactly.
Passing that love on. So it's you're spreading it so that more people know how to do what you do.
Exactly.
Do what you do. And when that energy is low, we know we got somebody to call.
I know, right?
But when that energy comes back, y'all just look, first of all, I'm registering my grandson for your class.
Wonderful.
So he needs to be there. My granddaughter, I won't do that to you. She's only 2 and she's special. But I have 3 other granddaughters. I think they should be in there too, but they need to feel that love. And that's part of the thing, and I'm bouncing back and forth because one of the things I do want to emphasize on the 9th, on December 9th, the voices of Black women is really, really important. We need to hear your voice. When it comes to cancer prevention, screening, we need to hear your voice. And so this is an opportunity to come out. We will have food, and there will be education and information. We're working with Health Connections, with Miss Erica Sinclair, who is all over the place. I don't know if she's in the state today. She be moving. But understanding your voice matters. And especially as we talk about prevention and treatment, your voice matters. So we want you to come out on the evening of December 9th, 5:00 at Thrive on King, and then take that information and then plan on bringing your families out on the 13th to talk about healthy eating. And this is one thing we can take control of to make sure that we're doing some preventative measures to keep our body healthy. And as Dennis was mentioning earlier, through the Men Moving Forward project, they talked about healthy living, increasing your exercise and movement, because all of us sit a lot. We sit a lot, whether it's for work, whether you get home, and I think I'm doing good. I get home and I'm sitting down and I'm drinking my water, but I'm sitting and I'm crocheting, and I could sit there and crochet through 2 whole movies and not even think about it and be like, oh, I got to get ready for bed. But I've sat that whole time, and that's not healthy. I need to get up and move. So all of us have to remind ourselves of the importance of movement, but also, which is part of the program, for the 16-week program for Men Moving Forward, but also the importance of what we put in our body so that we have that energy, so that you don't feel lethargic. I can sit and watch television and have a soda and some chips, or I can sit and get up every now and then and cut up some carrots and cucumbers and drink my flavored water and, get up, play with my dog and walk him outside and then come back. and do what I need to do. But we've got to be able to build in that lifestyle, and starting with what we eat is, to me, it's hard. However, it can be so easy if we just take small steps. Small steps.
I found out. Oh,
Go ahead, go ahead.
I found out it's easier for me when I prep things. So when I need I've been in the bed a lot because of my disease. And when I need something, if I go in the kitchen, I can, whatever is there, I'm gonna taste it. Because it's prepped. But if it's not, I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna have anything. I'm not. If my water is not, if my husband don't help me and my water is not on the side of the bed, my ice water in my mug, I won't have water for hours and hours and hours. And then I'm wondering why I'm feeling so lazy and sluggish. I need some water. I need some food in me, if my cucumbers are cut, if my tomatoes are already washed, and if my pears are already sliced, and I'm going to have that. But if it's not, I'm not going to have it.
Right. Right.
So I always go for the quick, and a lot of us, we go for something real quick. If the chips my husband have chips on the table, if I want to grab one or two or whatever, but if he have fruit there, the little cuties or anything like that, I'll grab it. So get in the habit of just having something healthier
and prepared
there and prepared for you. Be easy to just grab.
Yeah.
In the Men Moving Forward program, we were taught, and we talked about, if you plan to fail, I say if you don't plan, you're going to plan to fail. You must have the stuff there right away. You want to also have nutritional stuff in your home right away that you can eat. Otherwise, you're going to run out to a fast food place right away because you don't have the food, because you have not prepared things ahead of time. So it's really important to have the food there, have the ingredients that you need. We also teach the guys how to grocery shop at that time. What areas of the grocery shop are more healthier than others? It's usually the outer aisles most of the time. Produce is usually you run into that first time, and so just give them the basics. Also, food preparation. Where to put the food, what should go in the refrigerator, what should stay on the counter. All that makes a difference, for food longevity. So it's little things like that, so, and I still have my little sayings every now and then. I have another one here for you. It says, if you do not let your food be your medicine is going to be your food. So a lot of people say, oh, wow, that food costs so much. How much does it cost when you got to go buy medicine?
Yeah.
So let your food be your medicine ahead of time to take care of your body, for prevention, and sustainability, so that's all I got for now.
I just want to add this, because medicine have become my food.
Yeah.
My insurance lapsed because my husband works seasonal, but we picked up our new insurance. Our new insurance was not accepted for the cancer, my cancer treatments. My medication for 1 month was $25,000, not $2,500, $25,000, because I had to take 25. I had to take for 25 days. They were $1,000. That's crazy, and I'm like, do I need this? Do I actually need this? Because I'm not paying no $25,000, for this. So I was off that for a month, but then when we picked it back up, in the insurance that we had gotten, we still had to pay $2,000 for 1 month. 1 month. I'd rather take that $2,000 and shop and get all these great vegetables and fruits and healthier chickens and whatever. There's, people like, oh, they doing something with the chickens, and they so big now and this and that. I rather research it and spend way less money in eating some good foods that's in my body than to have those pills going in my body all the time. I went from, when I was pregnant, I never even took the vitamins. I did not believe in putting any type of pills in my body. Cramps, I don't care. I wasn't taking no Motrin or what, none of that stuff. And I went from 0 pills to taking 26 pills a day.
Wow.
It's and we I don't want I don't want you all to go through that. So trying to I'll be quiet in a minute.
That's you got us.
Yeah.
We got to do better.
We have to.
Yeah.
We know better, we do better.
We know better, you do better.
And one thing I will say is that what you do within your family, that can make a big difference. And my mom, she just turned 91. But if you talk to her like way back when she was in her 50s, she felt she wasn't going to live past 61 because my grandmother ended up had kidney failure, and she died at 61. And she had diabetes and this and that. I thought and I always tell people my mission moment has to do with my grandmother and her diabetes. So this isn't anything new. But when my mother got diagnosed with diabetes, I said, the difference is you got a dietitian in the family who can help you to learn how, because she thought she was a bowler. She couldn't go bowling because there was a bowling tournament in Florida. I thought, you can still go. There's a lot of people living with conditions that we don't know about because they don't even talk about it, but they have them and they deal with them every day. But they are dealing with them and staying healthy and are living and functioning. And so, after she learned all about how to control her diabetes and have little snacks here and there, and she went to Florida and they didn't like her people didn't like the meal that they had. And she had all her snacks in the room. And she said she was the queen because everybody was asking for her healthy snacks. She was like proud that I planned ahead. And so that's what we're trying to do, is empower people with skills. So skills that they could take for longevity. I will have to say, I had a birthday since everybody divulged their age. I turned 70 this year. Yeah. And so, I'm like, I looked at myself in the mirror. I'm like, well, it don't make no difference what you look like. You still 70.
You're a baby too, then. Everybody in this room's a baby.
But the idea that all my brothers and sisters that's older than me are still around too, I think is a testament to all the fruits and vegetables and healthy food that we've been eating all through our lives. And we have to take the gamut too, and take control, because if we're not watching our blood pressure, if we're not doing this, we don't know what's in our family, and you don't even know what to be concerned about. You're kind of at victim to what you don't know. So that's the only reason why I was like, oh, we need to make sure they know this is something you need to share. You need to know what is your family history, your family food history, but your family history in general. Because, one group, when I was talking to, and I do all kind of focus groups and community conversations and that type of thing on diabetes. And a couple of people said, even though diabetes ran in my family, I didn't know I had a risk factor for diabetes. So I never thought, even though auntie had it and so had it, and this one, they never thought that they would get diabetes. So my grandmother had diabetes, my mom had diabetes. Even though I don't have diabetes, I said, do a hemoglobin A1C on me. My doctor says, why? I said, because I'm not waiting until I get diabetes to figure out if I'm at risk.
Prevention.
So that's where some of all this conversation and understanding what runs in your family, making sure that you share with people. Because if I hadn't shared the information, a couple of times some family members say, I don't need to see a dietitian. I know one already. So they come to me.
You need to start charging them, though. You need
Right?
That would be terrible. But once they get it, they only come back to me to tell me how well their hemoglobin A1Cs are, or how they're doing. Once you get it, and it becomes a lifestyle. It's not something you have to read a piece of paper. So I teach how to live with whatever, how to have a healthy body, how to live healthy with what you have, and despite your past, because you're never going to get rid of liking certain things.
Yeah.
Right.
You just don't
It's
have to
a-
eat them all the
Right.
time.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
And we are coming up on the end, and I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you. Today, we reminded everyone that the holidays is a great time to check in on your family's health. Know your numbers, know your history, and start the conversation with love. Um, and we also focused on small changes in your eating habits and your activity. So after you get done eating Christmas, let's go outside and we can walk, we can play in the snow, you can hopefully shovel some snow, we can do something, but get active after you finish eating.
Yeah.
And remember, we have 2 big events that are coming up where you can learn more. You can learn more from on December 9th. Voices of Black Women Listening Lounge is occurring at Thrive on King. That's from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the Healthy Futures Summit on December 13th. And that is from, I can't remember the time, 9 until 1. And you can see more of Miss Lisa Kay and Dr. Yvonne. But we want to see you there. That's what's important. If you need more information about either one of these programs, 414-955-2364. You can call me. I will register you for both programs. Or you can look on Facebook and Instagram. There's also flyers out about this program. I want to thank you all for coming in today. There is never enough time. So we're going to continue this conversation. I want to thank everybody. Thank you for those who called in. Thank you for those who watched. And we will see you in 2 weeks on December 19th for more of Your Health and You.